Ethan Klein, Destiny Asmongold, and more have on several occasions dismissed civilian casualties on the basis of, well, they were terrorists or, well, they were near terrorists. This contributes to the attitude of desensitization and dehumanization that we see in Trump's post about a strike in Yemen on Houthis. And because of this attitude, when seeing dozens of people killed and being okay with it, it makes it a lot easier to start labeling people as sympathizers.
For Hassan, who is an outright supporter of terrorism, he is a champion for terrorism.
And treating them poorly and convincing yourself that any means necessary are required to punish them. Because after all, what's scarier than the word terror? And well, this week, President Donald Trump shared what I considered to be one of the most medieval, disturbing public shares in modern history by a world leader. He called it a successful strike on Houthi members, and you won't hear many challenges on this. Yemeni news, especially from local sources and primary sources, is barely reported on, and when it is inaccurate, misrepresented, or lies. This is carried out mostly by the Western and Saudi press. For those of you who don't know, Yemen and Saudi Arabia are at odds. Admittedly, we don't know enough about this situation, and while I was researching it, trying to find primary sources, it was a little bit difficult due to everything being in Yemeni Arabic. However, the video shows a strike hitting what looks to be an Eid celebration in Al-Fatsa, an area in the Red Sea port city, Hodeidah. The presumed date is April 2nd, a Tuesday, 2025. The Eid al-Fitr claim is backed up by myriad primary sources in the area. The footage is raw, sickening. Dozens of people are seen gathered around a singular person, and then a flash caused by a and then a crater. Now, for those of you who don't know or who haven't seen pictures of it, this formation, people gathered around and then one or two people in the center, generally an Eid celebration. That's what we see online. We also see voices saying, why do they have firearms? Don't let anybody ever tell you that a Yemeni person having a firearm means that they are a terrorist or a Houthi fighter. Gun culture in Yemen is prevalent. Firearms are cheap, very economically viable. Don't listen to Ethan Klein, who says that they are expensive and that a 19-year-old kid having a firearm means that he's a Houthi fighter. According to locals and reports from Facebook users in the area, this was not a military meeting. This was an Eid gathering. A former Houthi spokesperson, Ali al-Bukaiti, who has long been vocally critical of the Houthis, states that he believes that this would be an Eid al-Fitr celebration in conjunction with both tribal dignitaries and a Houthi commander, which he has seen in his experience. Tribal dignitaries and the tribal members would mean civilians.
كذلك هو ليس تجمع عسكري أمني حوثي لمشغلي الصواريخ والطائرات المسيرة، وهم معتقدين أن هذا الحشد الكبير من الناس لن يتعرض للقصف باعتبار أنه حشد من المدنيين.
He even mentioned that he had heard that from a certain village there was a 14-year-old involved.
واحد منهم ما يتجاوز عمره تقريبا 14 سنة.
While going through the local Hodeidah Facebook accounts, Mohammed Jiash reported to have been a supervisor of the local police in the area, and his brothers are also reported to have passed in the attack. His son was seen mourning online for his father's passing. Another rumored to have been killed is Ibrahim Abu Taleb. Ibrahim's links to the Houthis is tenuous. He has a family member, Hamza Abu Taleb, who had been associated with Houthis in the past. And I want to be clear that Mohammed Jiash was also seen around Houthi members. However, they all say the same thing. This was not a military gathering to plan a strike on a U.S. maritime vessel. Trump claims the strike was carried out to prevent an attack on USS Truman in the Red Sea, currently trying to protect Israel capital. A Yemeni information minister, Al-Iryani, backed him up. People online are saying that Hodeidah is under Houthi control, which is true. It was taken in 2017. However, this does not mean there are no civilians in the area. A cursory glance at the Facebook pages and the government website of the area will show you several photo ops with kids, women, children, girls, elderly. But here is the thing. Even if this area is under Houthi control, and even if these people were aligned with the Houthis, it doesn't add up. Why would a gathering of Houthi members who have been subject to strikes and constant surveillance for years, not just in the past several weeks, which is true, they've been subject to strikes over and over and over again, but why would they be out in the open making a military plan, just so happening to be in the formation exactly what we see of an Eid al-Fitr celebration? Why? It doesn't make sense. Hodeidah and Al-Fatsa, they have several tunnels and underground bunkers. Why would they gather out in the open, in an open field, precisely in the formation that we see Eid al-Fitr celebrations in Yemeni tribal communities? Yet since that strike, far from being deterred, the Houthis have started an offensive on the USS Truman's aid boat, reported on by Yahya Sari, who is the spokesperson who currently works inside of the Yemeni military. The strike, whatever it hit, clearly did not stop anything. According to reports, These are now starting to build more fortifications around the Red Sea, more military tunnels in Al-Fatah and nearby Majlis, soil fortifications in the Red Sea, and covert missile launch sites. And people are celebrating online, celebrating our own president, which isn't surprising, glorified it. He said, "Oops." This marks one of the most medieval, dehumanizing moments of U.S. foreign policy in modern memory. Is this the anti-war president? While the identities of the casualties are unknown, living in an area occupied by Houthis does not make somebody a Houthi. Given this admin's track record in Yemen, I am not so sure that they even know who they struck. People are probably asking, does this even tie into Apartheid Klein and Epstein, or did you just use their names to gain views? Both. While he hasn't commented on it, I already know what Ethan Klein is thinking. Given his track record of making blithe assertions and lies about the Houthis and repeating lies from ISRL, the Saudi press, sort of tips me off to the fact that he saw this video and said good, in my opinion. And his attitude that his community has been poisoned with by him contributes and bolsters the public's apathy towards people being picked up on the street for protesting in favor of Palestine and mislabeling any derision of ISRL as terrorist sympathy.